I think once you find your strength, that's when you can start finding meaning and purpose. I'm at a crossroads right now, and I figured I would. I'm so scatterbrained that I need to go for a run. All right, I ran around the block 4 times, and then I went to a forest where I live, and I walked 2 miles, and then turned around and 2 miles back. On the second half of the walk, my brother met me, and we started the chit chat, and I didn't tell him I was in what an awful state I was in. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with me. I'm just felt lately just a little bit lost. I don't know whether or not. I guess I'm disappointed with some things. You know, honestly, this whole thing with should we wear masks again and stuff like that is I don't know what's going on with me, but nothing has to do with the significant thing that I discovered at the end of my walk. So at the end of the walk, I was talking to my brother, and I asked them, I said, would you mind telling me what your perfect day is? Go wake up. What do you do? What time do you wake up? What's the first thing you do? Do you go for a walk? Do you go sit outside? Do you sit in your bed to have coffee? What do you do when you first wake up? And his response surprised me because I know what his real dream is to own a farm. And he started talking about his current job. And I was surprised but grateful. Because, wow, I don't have to convince you that your job is good and you stay with it because that's how you earn your money and how you won't be on the streets. And all this other stuff. So I asked the question again, and I said, I don't need to know your answer this time. The reason why I asked that question is I wanted to come up with a way to frame that question to myself. Because when you're so far down a path and you're so conditioned to live a certain way, you start to have less expectations for yourself. These are my beliefs. You start thinking that your current job, with how you're doing the job or how you should be doing the job, is set in stone. The way that you feel about that job is the way it's always going to be. And what really sucks about that is if you don't have meaning with what you're doing, then what does it matter? And if you tune out of this video, I want to tell you, though, find meaning in what you're doing right now. If you don't tune out of the video, I want to explain to you about what I discovered at the end of, at the beginning of this video in my white t-shirt, what I was struggling with. And how 6 hours later, things can be different in my mind. So when you wake up and you have no intentions for the day, you're not really sure what to do. Maybe you're going to try to avoid a bunch of things. You are going blind. Not even in the sense of blind eyesight. Blind in spirituality and blind in just making decisions, being with the right people, all the stuff. You're just going in blind. So you have no intentions. The reason why you don't have intentions and the reason why I don't write things down is you really don't want to do them. And I think procrastination is not about, oh, I don't want to do that task, is you just don't want to do that task. And you're need to just accept the fact that it's something you don't want to do but has to get done. But there's something much bigger. There is a huge loss in life is if you live every one of your days without meaning and without purpose. And this is a very scary thing, because how can whatever job that you have, if you're retired, whatever it is, how can you find purpose? Do you even have the strength to find purpose? I'm not sure if I do. So you got to think about your strengths. What are you good at? I'm not great at making videos. I'm pretty okay. But what I am good at is I do finish some of them. I finish most of the videos that I start. I go back and I wish I wouldn't have made that video. It's not my audience, or it's not about making stuff like this video here. I'll lose subscribers over this video. People won't like it. Or there's always that thumbs down guy. But talking about strengths, and I want to know what your strengths are. And if you want to talk to me about this, I'd love it. So put your strengths down there in the bottom. What do you think they are? So I finish. I'm a finisher. I'm not a perfection guy. Sometimes my stuff's dripping paint. Sometimes there's titles that are misspelled. Sometimes there's mistakes. I'm a hacker, but I finish things. I know how to finish things. And sometimes it's at the cost of rushing things. And sometimes it's at the cost of being maybe rude or stepping on people's feet or being non-perfectly social, or, wasn't raised in some perfect family where I know how to do all the right things and send thank you cards and everything else. But I think once you find your strength, that's when you can start finding meaning and purpose. Your strength isn't something that you're great at. The strength is something that you do, and it's not a huge deal in your life. You do it, you're good at it. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not a cakewalk, but you do it to the best of your ability, and that task gets finished. Mine, I make these videos. Sometimes they're better than others. Maybe out of all the hundreds of videos I watch, maybe you learn 2 things. Maybe you've learned nothing. It doesn't matter. But for me, what I discovered what I was missing that I kind of got from a run, because I ended up talking to my brother and asking him that question: how would you design your perfect day? You wake up at 5:30, you drink your favorite coffee, you walk out into your garden, you walk out into your driveway, you walk to your garage, get ready for work, you look forward to a meeting that you have, you look forward to maybe going to visit someone in the hospital, or seeing a relationship, or meeting that person you met on Tinder, Bumble, eHarmony, wherever it is. Whatever you want to do that day, you look forward to it and you plan it out and you're thinking it. Where I'm at now, and why I feel a tiny bit better in my heart, is that I think my purpose is to help other people to the best of my ability with what I currently have. Arthur Ashe, use what you have where you're at. What I would urge you to do is to find meaning in whatever you can right now. If you're struggling with a task, a job, whether or not you're a nurse, or if you're a roofer, or if you're a Uber driver, whatever it is, if you're struggling with finding something in that job, you're lost. You need to find meaning in what the current job you have. And that meaning will eventually, I believe, what I feel in my heart after my walk in the forest today, is that meaning, finding temporary meaning in whatever you're doing, will lead to the purpose why you're here. That's it. I love you. Take care. And I look forward to helping you.